Good afternoon, everybody. This is Damon Bond of Bond Realty Group, LLC, licensed real estate broker in the state of Connecticut, licensed real estate salesperson in the state of New York. Hope everybody's well. If there's any questions or comments, you can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com. That's dbond011@gmail.com. Or if you like this, you can like it on Facebook or share with other people. Now, the other day we talked about short sales, in terms of what that means, what that encompasses, how you go about doing that. Now, today we're going to talk about REO properties. And REO stands for real estate owned. That's what it means. It means the foreclosures of bank property. So that's what REO means. Now, as I said the other day, both properties are great ways to get a house for a great price. Now, I went over short sales, and if you didn't get it, you can watch my video on how to obtain and buy short sales. Today, we're going to be talking about foreclosures. So, once again, if you are looking on your own, and whether you're on Realtor.com, Zillow, wherever it may be, some jargon you want to look for is things like, bank owned, of course, foreclosure, HUD property, which stands for Housing Urban Development. These are some things you want to look for. If you're buying a bank-owned property. Now, bank-owned properties transactions are a little bit different from short sales and from regular real estate. Once again, your down payment will be the same. If you're doing 3.5% FHA, you put down 1%, you do the inspections, whatever, or you put down 1%, then you do 19% after the inspections. But here's where we're going to deviate a little bit from regular sales. With a bank-owned sale, first of all, you have different types of bank-owned sales. One is through HUD.gov. That's HUD.gov, HUD.gov. And what HUD homes are sold through the government, Secretary of Housing and Urban Development. Your broker, your real estate agent, salesperson has to be registered in order to sell HUD homes. If they're not registered, he or she cannot sell HUD homes. And this is usually done online. You go and you put your real estate person will submit a bid on your behalf. They will submit it. And usually with HUD properties, they give you a time frame when certain types of individuals could buy. So they'll give a time frame when regular home buyers, people who plan to be owner-occupied, as they call it, can purchase the property. That could be for like 2 weeks. Then what they'll do is they'll open up to investors, people who are gonna, flip it, or people gonna rent it out. That'll be next. So that way they give the person, the owner-occupied person a chance. So that's what HUD's home. If you're and you could check, by the way, if you could ask or you could check. You just type in their name on the HUD site, and they'll let you know if your broker is indeed a registered HUD broker. So they're the only ones who can sell HUD properties, meaning properties coming from HUD. It doesn't mean they can't sell bank-owned properties. That's a whole different story, all right? But specifically, houses that are sold directly by the government. Those are the people who will be able to buy that. Now, you also have properties that are sold by Fannie Mae as well. And once again, you go directly to the website and look, and they'll give you a chance when you get bid on it. That's something similar to HUD. You don't have to be a registered Fannie Mae agent to do that. Any real estate person can do that. It's only with the HUD homes directly from HUD that you have to be registered with them to do that. I happen to be one of those people that are registered with HUD. So if you're looking for a HUD home and you live here in Connecticut or New York, you come to me and I can assist you with that. So that's the first thing. Another aspect with HUD homes, not HUD homes, with properties that are bank-owned is this. A lot of times, bank-owned properties are in the conditions is pretty bad. Some of them are pretty bad condition. They've gotten a lot better than they were, let's say back in 2007, 2008, 2009, when basically banks didn't care and you came in, everything was messed up. They're a little bit better, but they still can be messed up. Now, if the property is in disarray, disrepair, you can only buy the property with cash. All right. FHA is not going to approve you for it because the condition is too bad, and many conventional loans will not approve you for it if the property is that messed up. However, there's a way around that, and that way is called an FHA 203K loan. And what this loan will allow you to do is it will allow you to purchase a property, 3.5% down, and what they'll do is they'll build in the repair expense into your mortgage. All right. And from my understanding, I'm not a mortgage person. From my understanding, it's very low, low interest, lower than you would get, let's say, at Home Depot if you bought cabinets or whatever it is. And this will allow you to repair and rehab the property. So let's say there's a great colonial C. It's 3 bedrooms, 2 bathrooms, fireplace, the whole kit and caboodle, and you really want to buy it. But let's say the mechanics are not good, the copper pipe is missing. They will actually, they meaning the FHA 203K people, lender, will put the money in your mortgage so that way you're able to buy and get up to speed, so to speak. So that way you can get the new copper pipes. You can fix your bathrooms. If you have some broken windows, you can take care of that as well. You can take care of all these things. This is up to $35,000. Anything after $35,000, from my understanding, you have to get what's called an engineering consultant in there. That's something that the FHA people will bring aboard if it's more than $35,000. If it's under $35,000, then they can come here and do that. All right. So that's with the bank-owned properties, and and also with bank-owned properties. When you do an inspection with a bank-owned property, the inspections are for informational purposes only. More often than not, that's the case. Sometimes, depending on who it is, what institution that's selling the property, sometimes they'll have like a, $200 or $300 repair clause in there, something like that, where they'll give you the money to take care of that. But usually with bank-owned properties, many times there are no utilities on, meaning no lights, no water, no electricity is on. So when you order inspection, you'll have to pay for these things to be turned on. And then you have to pay for them to be turned off again, usually. So if you do an inspection, it's going to cost you money, the inspection, plus have the utilities turned on, and it's only for informational purposes. They're not going to do anything. So if the roof is messed up, if the foundation's bad, that's just too bad. You're aware of it, so that way you can figure out, if this is for you or not. Also with bank-owned properties, usually, when they're ready to close, they're ready to close. If you're not ready to close, they'll go on to the next person, or usually what they'll do more often than not is they'll charge you a per diem rate, until you close. So for example, let's say today is March 21st. Let's say you were supposed to close yesterday, right? A lot of banks will charge you, like $150, $200 per diem for every day you don't close. So let's say it takes you 5 business days to close, right? That's $1,000 you'll have to pay in addition to closing. So the bank method usually is it's our way or the highway. Usually there's some forms you have to fill out, similar to a short sale form. But if you get a house that's not in too bad condition, and there's a great neighborhood that you like, you desire, it fits your profile, fits your needs, then by all means, go for it. Bank-owned properties do not take long to close compared to short sales. In fact, many of them take quicker than short sales. So you're not going to be waiting months and months and months, to hear from the the bank. Usually they go like that. So that is a great way, to acquire, a good piece of real estate for a very low price. Multifamily properties, meaning 1 to 4, multifamily residential properties, usually tend to be bank-owned a lot of times. And then sometimes you get the issue with tenants. That's a whole different thing. Your attorney, can help guide you through that. But basically, short sales, REOs, these are some great ways in which you can acquire property. So if you have any questions, you can always email me at dbond011@gmail.com. That's D, initial my first name, Bond, B-O-N-D, 011@gmail.com. Or you can, ask me anything on Facebook, and that'll be good. And I'll get right back to you and answer these questions. So just one final word about bank owns is the fact that what a lot of bank owned properties, what they'll typically do is this, and a lot of buyers mistakenly think they can lowball bank owned properties. Usually you can't lowball bank owned property. I mean, you can put any offer you want, but you're not going to. Sometimes, from my experience, other people's experience probably different. You're not gonna get it. So, for example, let's say, since I'm already here in Greenwich, I'm based in Connecticut. Let's say there's a house in Greenwich, Connecticut, right? Greenwich, Connecticut, right on the New York, Connecticut border, right? As we know, Greenwich is one of the wealthiest towns in Connecticut. And let's say there's a super duper house, 9 rooms, 4 bedrooms, 3 bathrooms, right? You're in Greenwich, Connecticut. And let's say the house is going for $300,000, which is a bargain. That's like unheard of, right? But let's say the bank really wants to get rid of it, right? You can imagine, you're not the only person looking for that house. You got about probably 10, 20, 30 other people who shop with other agents looking for the house. Even rich people want to get a good deal. That's why they're rich. So what happens is this. $300,000. Now, if you go in at $300,000, I guarantee you're not going to probably get the house. You're not going to get the house going at $300,000. So I always tell people, idea is this. If the property is not too bad, let's say property is in a great neighborhood, once again, great location, it needs a lot of work, it's okay to put an offer for, let's say, 10, 20,000 above the asking price, if your budget permits. If you're looking for Greenwich, Connecticut, you're gonna have a healthy budget, trust me. That's fine, because typically what happens is this, and what the seller and the seller meaning the bank and the listing agent, the real estate person listing the house, what they'll do is this. In order to get the most bites possible, they'll put the house for some ridiculous low amount of money. All right, because the bank is gonna recoup, whatever they can get anyway, and typically they'll put it out there. And so people will show the house, offers will come in, offers will come in, offers will come in. And for about a few days, right? Usually no more than 5 business days. The bank will, the listing agent will sit on it, right? They'll review it. And then usually the listing agent will either email, call, text all the agents, and they say, okay, here's what we're gonna do. We need your highest and best, let's say by Wednesday afternoon at 5. Your highest and best offer. That's what we want. So then what happens is this is like, okay, wow. The agents are going to scramble with their clients and they're going to figure out, okay, what is the highest and best offer? How much money you want to put down? All right. Sometimes the property will go for more than that. Let's say it's possible to get $400,000 at the bank, from you. And that's what it is. You don't know what the other people are bidding on, of course, but that's how it is. That is typical on how bank-owned properties usually work. Cash is usually almost always king, because there's no appraisal. You got to do an appraisal, and the paperwork is less. So cash is always king usually, but not necessarily. There have been times, and I've been a part of this where we're up against people who were cash buyers, and I had a person who was getting a conventional mortgage, and that individual got the house, and the other buyers didn't. So it all depends what the scenario is. So that's what you want to know with a bank-owned property. Also, don't put an offer in on the weekend, because the bank's not going to see it until Monday anyway. So it's Friday afternoon, Friday evening, you and, the wife, you, the husband, you and the significant other go out and look for a house or whatnot. You find it. You decide to put an offer right then and there with your real estate agent. The real estate agent will submit it because they're good people. And they'll submit the offer right away. It's not going to get reviewed until Monday morning anyway. So you can actually wait for that. Most of the time, because remember, banks are closed on weekends usually, so you're fine. That's just one little thing that a lot of people are not aware of with bank-owned properties. And so pretty much that's it. It's a lot less cumbersome than short sales. And like I said, you get a really great deal. I keep emphasizing that because you can. Many people are frightened by bank-owned properties. Some people can't look past, the mess of bank-owned properties. But you can clean that up. And I've seen some remarkable changes in purchasing a bank-owned property. So, with that said, if you ever have any questions, please email me, dbond01@gmail.com. You can put this on Facebook. You could contact me on Facebook, like it if you enjoy it, share with somebody, and that'll be all. So have a good day, ladies and gentlemen. And remember, this is Damon Bond from Bond Realty Group, licensed real estate broker in Connecticut, licensed real estate salesperson in the state of New York. Be well. Have a good afternoon.